think he did amazingly well. He moved the lectern, which meant that he owned the stage. And for this speech especially, being that it was a speech which centered on body language, it was important that you enabled us to see you within full view with no barriers. Now, mentioning the structure, again, it is a special day. It was such a broad statement which allowed us to think for a moment that I was there bewildered because it's such a broad statement, I didn't actually know what to make of it. But then immediately you went and explained. And two examples I'll give of this are the birthdays and the World Cup. Now the birthdays you mentioned, we view them as a special day because we get presents, we get to hear from people we've never heard of before. But then when the next day comes, it's just normal. We're upset again, we're bored, we're whatever our normal day-to-days are. You mentioned the World Cup, which was very topical. I mean, we used it in table topics. You mentioned that when the World Cup's on, everybody's involved. I mean, I have to admit that I'm not somebody who is, but even so, I'm still keeping up with the scores, I'm still keeping up with the news, and so I guess, actually, to counteract myself, I am. So it was very topical and it was very true. But then, again, when the World Cup's over, days are just going to be the same, they're going to go by, and that thing that connected us is going to be gone. So what you made really clear was that we shouldn't view special days as special days just because we have a special event on. We need to be happy in ourselves. And you mentioned that, you said, as a conclusion, you don't need a special day to be happy. You need to be happy within yourself. So you asked me to look for your structure. I definitely think you had an introduction, a middle, and the end. That was brilliant. You asked me to look at your body language. Again, many gestures. You were very expressive with your hands, which sometimes could be too much, but in this speech, I think it was perfect. You slandered, I don't know what to call this, you had your head in your hands. Very brilliant gestures, you know, you used your fingers to accentuate points. You did really well. I feel that we were able to feel what you were saying and not just hear it through your motions. As a suggestion, I would say that one thing, you asked me to look at your hand clapping, so your body language, I think it was brilliant. I didn't really see any hand clapping. I mean, I saw one at the beginning. Whether you done that purposefully or not, I don't know, but you controlled it if you didn't, so that was amazing. And secondly, another suggestion I would use, and I found it really hard to find suggestions for you actually, is that sometimes your gestures were a bit repetitive. Not your hand gestures, but for instance, the head in the hands. I think I saw that about 3 times, and maybe it lost the power because you repeated it so much, so maybe you could be more creative in the gestures you use. But to summarize, a brilliant speech, your voice variation was great. It was amazing. It's the first time I've heard you speak in a while. I think it's since